is, why are we here? And a couple of these slides, most of you have probably seen, but there's several that haven't seen my presentation, so we're just going to do a little recap. We have a local teen pregnancy problem in this area. Jim bought me a nice little trusty pointer. As you can see, this black dotted line represents ages 18 to 19, the state average for teen pregnancies. All these lines above there are our different counties that we're representing: Liberty, Calhoun, Holmes, Jackson, and Washington counties. And you can see we are way above the state average. Then also below is the 10 to 17-year-olds, and that black dotted line represents the state average. And you can see we are at or above the state average for our teen pregnancies ages 10 to 17. Part of my digging in this research is Chipola Healthy Start did a community assessment in 2010. There are 2 questions on the Healthy Start screen that every woman in the state of Florida completes when they come in for their first OB visit. The 2 questions that we looked at in this assessment was, thinking back before you got pregnant, did you want to be pregnant now, pregnant later, or not pregnant? Our 15 to 17-year-olds answered this question, I wanted to be pregnant now, at 78%, where our 18 and 19-year-olds said they wanted to be pregnant now at 84%. And these are unmarried teens that we drew this information from. The second question that we looked at was, is this a good time for you to be pregnant, yes or no? Our 15 to 17-year-olds at 64% said, yes, this is a good time for me to be pregnant. Where our 18 to 19-year-olds at 70% said, yes, this is a good time for me to be pregnant. So in other words, at least 64% of our teens said, I wanted to be pregnant now, and now is a good time to be pregnant. And we know nationwide, it's exactly the opposite. 3/4 of teenagers don't want to be pregnant, only 25%. So we have in our area a very unique position in that our teenagers are indicating to us that they're wanting to be pregnant. So with that information in mind, we think about what can we do? One other slide I want to talk to you about is looking at the United States in comparison to the other industrialized nations. Now this study is a little bit old. It was done in 2000, but it looked at 46 different countries and compared their teen birth rates. Number 1 is Japan at 3.9 teens per 1,000. Number 5 is Spain at 7.8 teen births per 1,000. The United States, we were at number 45 at 54 births per 1,000 for our teens. So in 46 industrialized nations, we are at the bottom of the list. Below us was Armenia, they were number 46. Above us was the Ukraine, Moldova, and the country of Georgia. Y'all, we are back where the Eastern Bloc countries are compared to our teen birth rates. In the United States, there's no excuse why we can't be at the top of this number instead of at the bottom. So not only do we have a problem nationwide, but we have a really big problem locally. And that's why we're here. Y'all understand this, you know this, so the question is, what do we do about it? In looking and digging into the literature, of course, I was concentrating on Sweden in one of my papers because Sweden has one of the lowest rates. What do the European countries do different than what we do different? Well, they have a community effort in tackling teen pregnancy. The churches say the same thing that the parents, that say the same thing as the teachers, that say the same thing as their peers. There is a very consistent message about teenage sexuality and teenage pregnancy. Here in the U.S., nobody is on the same page. Nobody has the same message. We all have our own opinions. And so what I have done is I have conceptualized a wheel. We as a community are a wheel, okay? And this wheel can go in any direction that we take it. And if you'll think like a bicycle wheel, we have spokes off of this wheel. Now the hub is our youth. We're all focusing, all the spokes go into the hub, which is our youth. But our spokes right now are broken, okay? Us healthcare providers, we're trying to deal with this problem of teen pregnancy, but we're not getting very far, okay? Our churches are burying their heads in the sand, so that spoke is broken completely, okay? Educators are trying to deal with it, but they're coming at a different way than what us as healthcare providers are, and the parents are saying something else. Nonprofits are trying desperately to do this. We're all trying to work on it, but we've got a really bad broken wheel. So my vision for CAPP is creating these spokes, and I'm going to call them teams, of faith-based, a faith-based team, a educator team, a healthcare team, a nonprofit team, and a parent team. And if we can all get on the same page and we all can talk the same language and start making decisions together, we can create this wheel, we can repair it and fix it, and then we can start moving in a good direction. I know this is the short and the down and the dirty, but this is what I'm trying to do. My professor who has worked with me on this, she said, if you get this done, you deserve a Nobel Prize. Because it seems impossible, but 3 months ago, I would have told you what I'm doing today was impossible. As you can probably figure out, I know nothing about technology, okay? And to say that I was going to have this stuff on the internet and a YouTube video, I really would have thought you were crazy. But look at what we have here today. If we can pool our resources, if we can start talking as a community instead of sticking our heads in the sand and say, you know, this problem doesn't concern me. It does concern us. We as adults are having to take care of these young people who are producing teen families, who will then produce teen families, will again produce teen families. We can change this. And the reason why we have a few speakers here is to let you know we can, because they have done it in other places. Do you have any questions about the wheel and what I'm trying to do as far as us as a group? So everybody's caught the vision, right? Yeah. Okay. Robin, if you will hand out, Robin is going to give you what I've entitled a resource page. And this is to get me in touch with you. If you are interested in joining a team, I'd love to have you. You don't have to be an educator to be a part of the education team. You don't have to be a youth minister to be a part of the faith-based group. You can join one or all of the teams, or you can join none of the teams. But if you would like to help, and you've got some resources on this list that you would like to help, please fill it out. Also, I would like ideas on future speakers, future topics. What I would like for us to do right now is continue to get the word out. Our community needs to know, number one, that we've got this problem, and number two, that we need them to help work on this problem. Another thing too that I want us to do is to start working on these teams. And part of being a member of a team is getting together with your team members and start talking about the issues. Educators are going to have different ideas than us as healthcare providers. But once we kind of, in our little teams, figure out what it is we want to do, then we can start working together and moving forward. There's two rules I forgot that we're going to abide by as far as the task force. Number one, there's no such thing as a stupid question, all right? One of the speakers that I heard at UAB about 6 months ago, she's a well-renowned nurse practitioner speaker. She goes all over the country. She does research. She writes all the time. She's a very busy woman. And she says, how I do this is I surround myself with people who are smarter than me. So you are my group that is smarter than me because you have expertise, you have different resources than I do, and we need you as a part of CAPP. So anytime you have any questions, please talk because we want to learn and power is knowledge. So no stupid questions. Number two, we will always be respectful of anyone who has opinions that are different than ours. We are in a very sensitive subject, teen pregnancy. Also in this conversation, though, will come teen sexuality, abortion, okay? We want to be respectful. I might not agree with what you have to say, but I will respectfully listen and discuss. If a conversation or if debate becomes heated, because I expect very vigorous and enthusiastic discussions in the future, but if it is not beneficial, for the meeting, then I will kind of notch it down, okay? Any questions about the resource pages? Wow. This is my vision of the teams right now. I'm going to give you an example. I have found a sheet called Teen Talk, and it's talking to teenagers about saying no or being pressured. Also talking about healthy relationships and that sex doesn't equal love and that type of thing. As a part, say hypothetically, I'm a part of the healthcare team, I bring this sheet to the healthcare team and say, hey, wouldn't this be great in every doctor's office in the 5-county area? And the team looks at it and they make a few adjustments and they say it looks great. So then we take it from the team, the healthcare team, and we take it then to the other teams, to the faith-based group. They look at it and they say, well, we'd like it to maybe word it this way. The teachers find some typos. The parents say, hey, this looked great. Once the community says this looks good, somebody suggests we put CAPP information on the back. Somebody says, hey, I know a laminator. Once we get the approval of the wheel, okay, then we can implement this into the community. And that's my visions of the team. This program that Zena is talking about, it'd be awesome if our educating team could look at different programs and do investigating for us, then bring it back to the community and say, hey y'all, we found this, what do you think? And once all the teams look at it and give us their blessing, then we are supporting it as a community. But we need to grow our teams, okay? Poor Bobby is the only one, from what I gather from our faith base, except Vicky. they need more than 2 people to comprise our faith-based team. So we need to get the word out. I am still available for any and all presentations. I have 3 next week. One to speak to an assistant superintendent in one of our counties, another an attorney in this area, and another is the director of the health sciences at Chipola. So the word's getting out. My phone, my poor husband hears it ringing all the time. We've got to continue to get the word out to build these teams, okay? One person can't be a team. That doesn't represent our community. I'm anxious to get started with this. I'm all excited about putting y'all together and getting this wheel moving. We've got things, as you heard today, that are out there that's already being done, but it's time that we as a community get behind something and us make a difference. So y'all get the word out. Y'all know how to get a hold of me. We're going to get this done. Thank you all for coming.